Good day, good rising, good evening to all. Brenda the Alchemist, welcome to another spiritual fitness session on my channel. Come in, come all. I welcome all. Make sure you hit the like button, like, share, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. The universe greatly appreciate it. Okay. Spirit wanted me to touch on something. This is kind of like a part two to a previous video. So back to the male collective, okay, the masculine men collective, who are not tapped in and balanced with their inner feminine energy. Okay. And needing to become aware and educated and knowledgeable about this divine feminine energy. One thing that the spirit brought to my attention, and I thought it was quite interesting and amusing, and I was very tickled by it when I was in meditation. I was like, huh? Okay, I'm like, you want me to tell them that? I'm like, okay. So, I'm not into conspiracy theories or anything like that, but there's one possible potential conspiracy theory that's been going around. Some of you may be familiar with it or heard of it, and some or many of you may have not. But this one particular conspiracy theory, okay, that relates to this topic of the masculine collective to tap in and balance their feminine energy and to connect with the divine feminine mother goddess energy, okay, in order for them to get clarity and understanding of who they are in their place in nature and in the universe and in the world. There's this conspiracy theory, okay, quote unquote, whatever, of this, it's from what I understand, it's like an energy manipulation of some kind, okay, and it's like an attack on male masculinity or men's masculinity, I would think. But yeah, it's so funny to me. But anyways, at this point, this earthly realm, somebody who's spiritually aware and inclined and things like that, something like this wouldn't come as a surprise. But anyways, the conspiracy theory relates to homosexuality. So what the conspiracy theory has been known as is some, I think it's called a homo bomb or a gay bomb or something like that. And so yeah, I know. Yes, I know. It's wild, right? Okay, so I'm thinking if there was actually, okay, homo bomb or a gay bomb of some kind, okay? It's conspiracy theory. If this was a thing, right, I could only see it being real, okay, as it relates to the internal alchemy of being balanced with your masculine and feminine energy as a masculine male physical representation, manifestation, okay, as a male slash man, right? I could see this conspiracy theory of the homo gay bomb being real, okay, for I guess the purpose of control or illusion or deception of some kind. But anyways, I could see this conspiracy theory being real and being effective, okay, on an energetic level, as someone who is aware of energy and energy manipulation as in using energy, directing it and yielding it in a certain way to get a desired outcome, okay? That's it, that's all. I could see this being effective, okay, because a lot of males are not aware of their own energy on a spiritual, alchemical, vibrational frequency level, okay? And this imbalanced patriarchal system and society has made a lot of men and males, you know what I'm saying, alchemically, psychologically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually imbalanced. They've been overly masculinated, okay, and overly macho and this and that. We know all the things, right, from the previous video. This is a kind of part 2 to that, because Divine Mother wanted me to touch on this. So I can see this potential quote unquote conspiracy theory of a homo gay bomb or whatever being effective if a lot of males on the planet are in balance with their masculine and feminine energy. You know, unfortunately, a lot of males and men are walking around here with childhood trauma that they are not ready or open to sharing, because it's, you know, it's shameful for them. You know, they feel, and you know, my heart and my compassion goes out to the men who experience something, you know, unfortunate and painful. Trigger warning, okay. You know, their child innocence was violated. Okay, let's just say that. I could say a little bit with saying a lot and not, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I could see potentially this homo gay bomb thing, conspiracy theory, quote unquote. I could see that being effective and being able to stick on to a lot of the male masculine collective on the planet. I could see that working because of what I understand about energy and trauma and energy manipulation. Okay, it's not something I would be interested in, okay, because that don't align with who I am. That don't align with, you know, my intentionality as a magician, okay? I'm not interested in compromising somebody's self-will in that way. Nothing against nobody that is, because it's not a right or wrong thing or good or bad thing. Everything in this life dealing with energy, okay, and manifestation and magic, if you will, is all about alignment. It's all about alignment. So there are some male, masculine, and men on the planet that align with that type of lifestyle. This is no attack or dig or offense towards them, okay? Everybody is here soulfully to walk a path for their soul's ascension and soul's learning and education and awareness. That's why we're all here. Let's not forget about that. This is about those who don't align with that type of activity, behavior, or lifestyle, okay? Because one thing about the divine, okay, divine love, divine truth, divine, the Most High is going to lay out everything on the table. You're not going to be in the dark about nothing. The only thing you're going to be in the dark about is just how good something is going to be or is once you walk by faith and not by sight, okay? And trust in the universe and the Most High. That's the only thing. Let me tell you, the divine is not going to leave you in the dark except for to trust it and have a childlike faith, okay? And once you take action, okay, and you come through the other side and you look back and you be like, yo, this is actually more amazing than what I thought. Like, dude, I was worried and scared and nervous and anxious for nothing. That's the only thing. Now, as far as the other polarity, okay, the other duality of divine energy, the evil one, okay, or the evil ones, right? They lay out everything on the table. The only thing is they leave out a whole lot, okay, in the agreement, in the contract, in the proposition, in the offer, okay, because everything is contractual. It's just what contract mostly aligns with you, okay, what path mostly align with you. That's what it's about. So the evil one the evil one will show you all your options, and you know that they'll lay it out all on the table, right? Look, this, and they make it sound so good, right? But unbeknownst to you, okay, because of, you know, the absence of awareness and proper maturity in energy, mentality, emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, and experience, anything that presented to you from the evil one or evil ones is gonna sound good, okay? It's gonna sound good to your ego, but your higher self, your intuition, gonna be screaming like, nah, don't take that deal, don't sign on that, don't agree to that. And I mean in a literal sense and also in a spiritual sense. Like I said, everything is contractual, okay? But not all contracts are favorable, okay? So the evil one will lay everything out on the table and make it sound so beautiful, but the thing is, the gag is, you gonna come out with the short end, okay? You gonna be shortchanged and the evil one is gonna get the majority of, you know, of the win. The evil one gonna come out with the W, you gonna take the L. That's the difference between okay, the Most High and the divine, how the divine operate. Divine gonna be like, look, trust me, but I need you to trust me for the purpose of you strengthening your faith, strengthening your confidence, and trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting the God energy, the God frequency within you. Okay, I'm not gonna leave you in the dark to shortchange you. That's the evil one. Okay, the one that I designed for the whole operating system of life. Okay, this simulation life, for you to become more godly and more aware and more powerful and strong, okay, and confident and whatnot. But yeah, so if there was, okay, potentially a homo gay bomb, conspiracy, okay, whatever. I could see it working because of how energy works, okay, and cause and effect and things like that. All right, so that's why it's imperative and important for the masculines on the planet to be aware of what they're getting into, and why they show up the way they show up, and why they behave the way they behave, and why they are attracted to certain energies and things like that. You know what I'm saying? It could be coming from a traumatic place, okay? But yeah, it's nothing wrong with, you know what I'm saying, being attracted to what you attract to if it feels natural to you, it feels true to you. Stand in your truth and be in your truth. But for the sake of making the playing field fair in this thing, we have to lay out everything, and so that those that don't align with that, okay, and they unfortunately experience some things, or they've done some things, or they was just exploring and learning, experimenting, whatever. Hey, this is Earth School. We come here to learn and explore and experience and da 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 da. Ain't no right or wrong, ain't no good bad. It's just alignment. Does it align with you? Yeah, it might align with you for a time, for a moment, whatever, or it might not align at all for whoever aligns with it on whatever level. It is divinely, lovingly intended for you to know what path and options you have before you, so you know where you want to put yourself and where you want to align yourself and which path you want to walk. Okay? So the divine wants you to know this is what you have as options and available to you, or whatever. Okay? The evil one, yeah, they gonna make it seem like they telling you everything, and they not telling you everything. They gonna leave out a whole lot. Okay? And the next thing you know, you come out, like I said, short-handed, short-changed. Okay? You can't get mad at the trickster. You can't get mad at the devil. You got to get mad at yourself for not being aware and knowledgeable, and not being educated, and not being, you know what I'm saying, not being laced with the wisdom, the knowledge. Okay? You can't get played if you ain't out here being gullible and naive. And only the frequency and vibration of immaturity, gullibility, naivety, okay, childishness, a childlike state, a childlike vibration will cause you to be gullible, naive, easily impressionable, okay, swayed ever with your weight. That's why growth and maturity is very vital and necessary for your earthly experience. You can't be out here, yeah, your body is grown, your physical vessel is grown, but your mental, your emotional, your spiritual is childish. You're gonna be misled and misguided everywhere except where you should be at for your growth and your expansion and your elevation and your maturity. Your growth will be stunted for a long time. Pumpkins, beloveds, okay? Divine Mother wanted me to tell, she like my sons. She like, y'all my sons, y'all my warriors, y'all my soldiers. But you can't be out here weak and fragile and scary and afraid. Get that fear up out your Muladhara chakra. Kick that stuff out of there. You gotta punch, kick that fear, that insecurity. It got to go. It got to go. Or you go, once you grasp, transmute, and grow, and get your energy where it needs to be, so you can be operating at your fullest, at your best, your highest. You're going to be able to look at your life and look back in retrospect and be like, dang, had I known this? But it's not a matter had you known it at a specific time. Get it now. Because our earthly time here is limited. That's why you can't afford to waste time with yourself or with other time wasters around you. Because the distractions are there. Okay? And just as much as this is a beautiful, paradise-like, awesome, fun, opportunistic, and educational place in this earthly realm, it is equally distracting. And if you're gullible and naive and childish because you have a childhood trauma that you've been carrying and holding on to, keeping you in a state of childishness, because it's about energy. I don't care you grown in your body and you out here doing grown-up things. You still childish if you are falling into gullibility, temptation, and you're not furthering your spiritual growth and your emotional intelligence and your spiritual intelligence. Because the universe picks up on the energy, okay? It just scans and reads your energy. It don't care what your human vessel body is like, but God, I'm grown, I'm da-da-da-da. And like, no, but you ain't operating like that, though. Your operating system is outdated. You got outdated beliefs. This patriarchal balance, imbalanced, backwards, okay? The programming, them programmed you and conditioned you to operate like a little boy, a little lost boy. One of my favorite Bible stories when I was religious was a prodigal son. It was about a child. I don't know why they use son, because it didn't apply to little girls too. But anyways, the prodigal son, it was about the son that left home and went out and, wanted to live life on its own terms, in its own way, and rebellious and all of that. But metaphorically, the spiritual lesson about the prodigal son, from what I can recall and remember, is that it was referring to, someone childish spiritually and going out into the world and living life on their own terms with no spiritual guidance and direction, no spiritual guidance, wisdom, and protection of the Most High, God, okay? And then coming back home after ruining their life, living in their ego, living in their lower self, making all these mistakes, and realizing later on, after they hit their rock bottom, they like, God, and they're like, it's okay. We've all been a prodigal son or a daughter at some point or another on our journey. But the thing is, one thing about divine love is you can always come back home. Okay? You can always come back home to God. You can always come back home to self. No matter what you went out there and did. Okay? All that'll be you, as long as you have a honest, authentic, genuine, sincere heart to want to change and to be a better human being, man or woman, even though this message is to the masculines, the men. The divine Most High will welcome you back. Now, if you lying and straddling the fence and you unsure and uncertain, stay out in the wilderness. Okay, you haven't reached your level of tired of being tired yet, and it's okay. But if you tired of being tired, okay, you like, yo, I thought I knew something, I don't know nothing. It's okay. And that's another scripture in the Bible, is one of my favorites. A man that thinks he knows. How'd it go? A man that thinks he knows Okay, forgive my paraphrasing, and I'm trying to remember it. A man that thinks he knows anything knows nothing. Yeah, so it's just about having a attitude of gratitude, having an appreciative heart to be open and receptive to learning, and having your cup filled with wisdom and knowledge, and not being out here stubborn and self-deceptive, okay, in your mental, thinking you know everything. The Most High will laugh at you, lovingly laugh at you, because it's like, oh, child, oh, baby, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the download I got regarding the previous video for the male masculine collective to tap in, okay? Because the divine mother, okay, she needs warriors, she needs soldiers, but she don't need no weaklings though, okay? The ones that's out here that's not balanced with her energy. How you gonna have heart, you out here heartless? That's why you show up weak when it come time to go to battle or go to war or to fight, okay? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically, for that matter. She like, hold up, swole up. You done swelled up your ego and fooled yourself and fooled a lot of people around you like you tough. It's like, now I gotta G-check you. Now I gotta God check you, because you haven't tapped into your inner G, your inner God. Okay? Because in order to tap into your inner God, you need to connect and tap into the Goddess. Because they are one. They're not separate. Separation is an illusion. Okay? It is an alchemical flow and harmony of masculine and feminine energy. Okay? Shiva and Shakti energy. Okay? That right brain, that left brain that meet up at the frontal cortex, where you can receive divine wisdom and divine knowledge and divine intelligence. When you just left brained, I believe the left brain is the masculine side. Forgive my occult anatomy mistake if I ain't look it up right now. I'm in motion. I'm driving. But yeah, so if you just all logic, in other words, you all logic minded, you all masculine minded, and you don't have no feminine right brain creative, you can't come up with creative ways to problem solve for your life, for your relationships, for your career, for your parenting, for you even creatively expressing. You're not tapped in emotionally and intuitively to that feminine energy. Let me tell you, the divine feminine energy is some powerful stuff, but you tap in. Okay? That's why the whole gag and the whole bamboozlement was to get y'all to fall for the okie dokie and keep y'all overly masculine. Okay? But they didn't tell you that though, because you wasn't invited to the club. You wasn't invited to those secret meetings they got. But anyways, it's not even about that. It's about alignment. Okay? Seek the knowledge for yourself. You ain't gotta go join forces with nobody that's doing things that don't align with you. Okay? Not saying that it's right or wrong or good or bad. It's just alignment. Okay? It's always about alignment. Does it align with who you feel you are on the core soul level, spiritual level, vibrational level, on the inside of you? That's what it's about. It's not about judgment. Okay, I don't want to do that. Da, 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 da. It's about, does it align with you and who you are and where you feel your divine path is here to walk in this earthly plane. Okay, that's what it's about. Don't get distracted by the distractions. Okay, out here in pop culture, society, okay, entertainment, politics, whatever. It's all about alignment. What aligns with you? Okay, because some of the stuff out here don't align with a lot of y'all, and I feel that. That's why I was divinely led to present this to you all, that it don't align with, and it is okay. Get your tail where you need to be, vibrationally, spiritually, so you're not out here just in the wilderness wandering around with no intention, no purpose. Okay, you have to move with intention. You can't be out here just okie dokie, I'm down for whatever, and that's not how you truly feel. This is no stab and no jab at nobody that is on that type of time. Okay, because it's all love regardless. It's just about alignment. Who aligns with what? Do you align with certain things? Okay, and it's okay if you did at one point, or you do, or you still do, or you don't at all, or you never did or never will. It is okay. Put your energy, direct your energy where it needs to go, that aligns with you on an honest, pure, truthful level. I'm not talking about an indecisive, wishy-washy, sometimey, I think, I'm not sure. Don't make a move. Don't decide until your path is clear. Okay? There's nothing wrong with being a little foggy and staticky and confused. Just don't be there forever. Don't be there for too long. Seek clarity. Request and ask and petition the universe for clarity. Like I said, this earthly realm, this earthly plane could be very distracting and foggy. There's so much going on. Some of this, some of that going on. Baby, this is a melting pot, a gumbo stew of everything imaginable. Okay? The truth can be very stranger than fiction here. Okay? That's why it's considered the projects of dimensions. Okay? But yeah, don't let yourself get distracted. Just be truthful and honest with yourself. Okay? And then the Most High, God, frequency, divine authority within you can help properly guide you effectively. Okay? Because that frequency responds and operates in truth, not in illusion and lies. That's for the evil one. Okay? That's how you know the difference. Okay? But yeah, I'm not really into conspiracy theories or anything like that. But my understanding of energy and my understanding of how, you know what I'm saying, my little understanding that I'm still learning about how the universe works and how energy works. Okay, I could see how certain things could be effective. Okay, all right. So true masculinity includes femininity. Okay, the lie and the trick was that they separate, they ain't got nothing to do with each other or whatever. That is a lie. Okay, to be a full, healthy, functioning man, a strong man, you have to tap into that other aspect of yourself, because it's within you already. Okay, the divine mother is waiting on you. Okay, she's already going to embrace you with her loving arms. She's going to love on you. Okay, Father God also is going to get you right where you need to be at, so you can show up strong and powerful and not out here, you know, fragile and vulnerable and easily broken, easily offended, easily embarrassed, easily bullied, easily attacked, easily pushed over, easily taken advantage of, easily, you know what I'm saying? I hope this helps somebody. I don't care if it's just one somebody, okay? I'm just doing what I was called and divinely inspired and led to do, okay? All right, gentlemen, okay, the warriors, the soldiers, the men, the strong men, okay? Continue to be the most healed, highest versions of you. Alchemize your best self for your best life. And until our next spiritual fitness workout session, also like, share, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it so these messages can get out to the right souls that need to hear them. All right? Thank you for spending time with me. I'm Brenda the Alchemist. Peace, love, enlightenment, and bliss to you. Take care.